When Jesus is calling you and you don't hurry, you'll talk yourself out of it. You say, I'll let everybody else go. I'm good. And you might not be good. In fact, you might have somebody that you won't forgive because they hurt you so deeply. Luke 19:5-6. And when Jesus came to the place, he looked up. He looked up and said to Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus, hurry and come down, for I must stay at your house today. So he hurried and came down and received him joyfully. Here's the scene. Massive crowd, Zacchaeus in the tree. The one who needs forgiveness is sitting there looking through the leaves in a tree. The one who forgives is walking down the street. Walking down the street. Notice it said he looked. To be exact, it says he looked up. Jesus is walking. He looked up. I believe the reason it doesn't say he saw, because he wasn't obvious to see. No one else was looking up. No one else was looking for Zacchaeus. I don't care who doesn't see you. Let me tell you, the man was hiding. Jesus looked up and he looked past what he was hiding behind and saw him. He's always looking past what you're hiding behind. You can hide behind a title. You can hide behind just being quiet about it. You can hide behind just being disconnected and not answering certain people's calls. You can hide behind even being in a service like this. This could be a mulberry tree. This could be a sycamore tree. You're sitting, watching, but hiding behind something that's not giving you freedom. It's keeping you bound. It says Jesus looked up and said his name. So no matter where your seat is, your seat has an address right now. Jesus is looking past whatever you're behind, and he's calling your name today. He's calling your name today. He's calling your name today. He says, I'm surprised the Bible didn't say after he called his name, Zacchaeus fell out the tree. I'm really shocked. I was waiting for that. It didn't happen that way, but Zacchaeus, he calls his name. And this is what he says, hurry, come down. Why did he say hurry? He said hurry because when Jesus is calling you and you don't hurry, you'll talk yourself out of it. You say, I'll let everybody else go. I'm good. And you might not be good. You actually might have some burdens you're carrying. You might have some shame that you're carrying. You might actually have some guilt. In fact, you might have somebody that you won't forgive because they hurt you so deeply and you want to make them pay. Let me tell you something. They can't pay you back. They can't. And oh, by the way, forgiveness doesn't change the past, but it will change the future. It will change the future. And Jesus is saying, I'm the only one that can pay for yours and theirs, and everyone have a chance to be free. My forgiveness is a forever forgiveness. As far as the east is from the west, I will put it in the sea of forgiveness. You will remember it before I do, because something in us wants to pay the penalty for our sins because we want other people to pay for theirs. I'm here to tell you, forgiveness washes away every sin, but my sin is deep where the blood is efficacious. That means it's effective enough that it runs deeper than the stain of sin. So it captures everything above it by going below it and cleansing and pushing it out of us. That's what forgiveness will do. It says, hurry up and come down. I'm staying at your house. What happened next? When Jesus said, I'm staying at your house, a lot of people felt violated. A lot of people, listen to what they said. It says in verse 8, and verse 7. And it says, when they saw it, they all grumbled. He has gone in to be the guest of a man who was a sinner. He left us. We're good people. Why is he going to mess with those people? You hear the arrogance of this? How dare Jesus go mess with somebody, go to somebody's house that I don't like? How dare Jesus go to somebody's house that I think is less than me? That's why. Pride is what he will resist. Humility is what he's attracted to. So it doesn't matter what we think of ourselves or people. The worst thing we can do is put people and ourselves in categories. That's what Satan does in Revelation. When it says he's the accuser of the brethren, you know what it's saying? He puts people in categories. Because if you put yourself or people in categories, you're limiting who you can become, and you're limiting who they can become. If they've been forgiven, they can be freed to become something other than the category we put ourselves in. That's right. That's good. He said, I'm breaking categories. I know what you think of Zacchaeus. In fact, it was anathema for a rabbi to go into the home of someone like this because he was so corrupt, he was unclean. He was unforgivable. Do you hear me? He was unforgivable, and Jesus went to the man's house. An unforgivable person's house. Why? They thought if you're a rabbi, you would never want to go in the home of someone who's corrupt and a sinner, because you would now identify with being corrupt and a sinner. But they didn't know that the righteousness and the glory that was on Jesus was greater than the corruption in that man. He didn't go there and get corrupted. He went there to clean house. He set the sin and the enemy and the powers of darkness packing and leaving, because his presence always brings purity, righteousness, cleansing, renewing, power, freedom. He came to bring the man freedom. And they're complaining about it because they don't see the hope that is in forgiveness of the unforgivable.